Hi, I'm LDS in Medium, and thank you so much for tuning in today. I want to try to bring religion and spirituality closer together, and this is what this pod is all about. I will talk about my own thoughts and feelings as I am both LDS and have spiritual gifts, something that I've had my whole life, but I always thought that it was hard to combine these gifts with my religion. This has torn me into two directions, and I have talked to many people who feel the same way. I can't choose not to have my spiritual gifts, but I can choose how I use them. And I always want to use them for good and to help others. I believe my heavenly parents gave them to me for a reason. So, this is me. Join my quest for knowledge.
Men vs. Women 14. It has been a while since I did one of my Men vs. Women episodes. Everything in my life has revolved around my mom. Now I'm back after a funeral weekend at home with my family, and we'll leave that experience to another time. Today is also Father's Day in Sweden, so happy Father's Day and a shout out to all the amazing dads out there. This week I will talk about chapter 14 in Laugh Your Way to a Better Marriage by Mark Gungor. And today it's about a sensitive yet really important subject. He starts with this. Sex and lust have become synonymous in our culture. Many experts claim that lust is essential for a healthier sexual relationship, that lust is what keeps the spark alive in human sexuality. Certainly, the media have bought into this idea, but is lust really good? Before I read this chapter, I think I would have gone for a yes. Isn't it good to desire your partner? But I missed the difference between lust and desire. He describes lust as uncontrolled desire. And lust comes from feeling of desire for forbidden things. God doesn't look favorable on lust of any sort. After this, Mark dives into history about the sexual revolution that took place and the works Sexual Behavior in Human Male, 1948, and Sexual Behavior in the Human Female, 1953, by Alfred Kinsey, and how these books, that was very partial and showing the minority of sexual deviances as the new norm. These books were what influenced sexuality in the 1960s and 70s, and it wasn't until 1990 when Dr. Judith Reisman released the book Kinsey, Sex and Fraud, where she points out that it wasn't the average American man and woman that Kinsey had studied, but prisoners, ex-cons, rapists, pedophiles, homosexuals, prostitutes, and 31 women claiming to have sex with animals. But by then, the damage was already done. Then we come to the part that talks about fantasies and sex, and how fantasies often leads to porn addiction. He describes porn addiction like eating the same junk food all the time. You won't get hungry for the real meal when you snack all the time. I think it's probably not the best metaphor, but I think you all know what it means. Porn numbs your brain in one way and fires it up in another, but not in good ways. It affects the ability of building a healthy relationship, because the expectations will be of that you watch, and that is fantasy, not reality. And still, therapists recommend porn to couples as a tool to spice up the sex life. But after the initial spark, it almost always ends in less sex and distance in the relationship, building a gap between objectifying the other person, instead of building intimacy and closeness. Dr. Layden from the University of Pennsylvania that has studied this has testified that there are no studies and no data that indicate any benefit from pornography. Mark once talked to a man that came up to him and said he had broken free from alcohol, drug, and porn addiction. And when Mark asked which addiction had been the hardest to break free from, he answered the porn addiction. Porn is very much like narcotic. You will need bigger and bigger doses to get the same buzz. So porn and fantasies and lust destroys closeness. And Mark points out that the best sex a man will ever have is when he's totally focused on the woman with him. Earlier this week, I came across a video on Instagram where a woman said that men don't actually like women. And I was like, what? Then she gets into explaining what she meant. She had learned from a professor in school that in our society, we don't teach men to be men. We only teach them how not to be women. You throw like a girl, run like a girl, don't cry, only girls cry, don't be emotional like a woman. And then she said, how are men to like women when they stand for everything that is wrong with their behavior? they get shamed for showing emotions. And still, these men pursue women because, as twisted as it is, women can be social status in front of other men. So, if we look at our society, where boys grow up not learning to be men, but shamed for being compared to girls and women, and then add the porn objectification, it really shows a great future for this planet. Or, it was a rather tough chapter to read, but today I want to really take time to appreciate the men out there that have grown into being men. I understand how hard that must have been, and thank you for not giving into the world of mankind and for finding your own path and in blessing our lives. Until next time, be the light, share the light, spread the light, and shine.
This is my journey. Thank you so much for keeping me company today. Please download, like, share, and subscribe, and help spread the light and spread the word to expand our community. Let's bring more love, peace, and unity to this world. Take care of yourself and your loved ones. Always be grateful, kind, and loving. Be brave and remember to step out of your comfort zone and smile. If you support us on Patreon, you will get access to our meditations and extra materials so you can download them as MP3. Also, we now have a Facebook group, which you can access from our Facebook community. Please answer the questions as you apply to participate. It will be a safe haven where we can keep discussing religion and spirituality, our spiritual gifts, and self-development. Remember, one person can make a difference, but together we can change the world.